Okay, Jack Tringove in 2011. His pre-season numbers are looking massive, and I think his value is going to go through the roof this season. Looks like he's ready to take a real leadership role in the midfield, and I'm definitely looking at putting him in my team. I don't think you can't just with his pre-season numbers. I mean, I'll keep an eye on his stats over the next couple of weeks, but he looks like he's about to have a massive breakout season. Dustin Martin, a little bit of concern over how he returned in pre-season, a little bit overweight, but has since put his head down and worked hard at Tigerland and has been a very good performer in all the pre-season outings that he's taken part in thus far. So I think his score will also go up, much like Jack Tringove, although I think Tringove is probably going to go up a little bit more than Dustin Martin in 2011. Dustin Martin will still be value at those prices. Mitch Duncan was in my team last year for a while and consistently got high scores. Tailed off a little bit, but can definitely find the footy and didn't get much of a chance because of Geelong's team makeup last year. So many premiership players in the team, he struggled to hold his place, but his pre-season form's been excellent. Can find a lot of the football, so he's definitely a dream teamer. Supercoach, he's maybe not quite as suited, but definitely keep an eye out on him in dream team. He's excellent value. If he starts playing a lot of football, he will get big scores. He naturally finds the footy. Justin Sherman had a horror year at Brisbane last year. Moved to the Doggies in the pre-season. If he gets back to his form beforehand, his score will definitely go up. I don't think it'll go up massively. I don't think he's a naturally high scorer in either competition, but he is a consistent scorer in the competitions in Dreamteam and Supercoach. So keep an eye out on him. If the Doggies can get him up and firing, then he's definitely worth an option in your midfield as the fifth, sixth, or seventh midfielder in your midfield. Patrick Dangerfield. Everyone's waiting for Patrick Dangerfield to have his breakout season. I'm not sure whether this is going to be it. He has shown good pre-season form, but yeah, I just don't think I think he's a season off becoming the footballer that I think most people think he'll become as one of the best midfielders in the comp. I just get a sense that he's not quite there yet. He definitely will improve in 2011, and in 2012 I think he's going to really show what he's all about. But again, a little bit injury prone now and again. But keep an eye on him. He's definitely in my watch list. Jack Zeeble, another injury prone guy. Been unlucky with a couple of broken legs, so you could say that's not really his fault, but it's also a concern that he's broken 2 legs in 2 years. So, and really his Dream Team and Supercoach scores are probably the high end of average. So just keep that in mind. I'd probably steer clear of anything outside of a watch list for Jack Zeeble. Trent Cotchin, another injury-prone young midfielder. He's got through his first full pre-season since he started at the club, and has had outstanding performances in the midfield for the Tigers in pre-season games. So I think his score will definitely go up. His Supercoach score, if he plays a lot of time, will skyrocket because of his contested possession rate. So it's just a matter of getting his quantity of possessions up for him to be a good dream teamer. Which I'm sure with extended periods on the field this year, rather than having to rest him all the time as in previous seasons, we'll see his score go up. So keep Trent Cotchin in mind. Another injury-prone young midfielder, Hamish Hartlett. From what I've heard, he's had a few injury problems with his hamstring in the pre-season over at Port. So probably one just to purely have on your watch list. But if he does get himself fit, those prices are well below the odds, and he will get plenty of the footy for Port Adelaide. Basher Hooley traded to Richmond in the off-season. has been getting heaps of footy in the pre-season NAB Cup Challenge games for the Tigers. Purely an outside midfielder, has been winning a little bit of contested ball though as well. At that price, you probably should be looking at him as a lower end midfielder, but definitely keep an eye on his stats through the final few NAB Cup Challenge games and see how he goes. So, but definitely worth considering at that price, and with he's almost guaranteed a starting role in the Richmond team as of round one. Nathan Foley was a massive scorer a couple of years ago. It's a long time ago now since he played any real consistent football. Played a few games last year, automatically got high scores. So perhaps the prices that he's at in both competitions obviously make him of good value to any players trying to squeeze in a value pick down the bottom end of their midfield. But probably just keep an eye on him and his stats. He hasn't had a great pre-season. He's kind of been in the rehab squad at Tigerland, so he may not see his best from Nathan Foley until a few weeks in from the season. Chris Maston, purely a dream teamer. As much as he's had a super pre-season with his fitness, and he looks like he's ready to really work hard, but the problem is that he just chops up the footy, which doesn't help him in Supercoach with his efficiencies. But in Dream Team, it doesn't really matter. It's just as long as you get it. So, Dream Team only for Chris Maston, but I think for Dream Teamers, he will have a year where his value will go up. And Daniel Kerr, the man responsible for the Daniel Kerr file. He hasn't had a good pre-season, from what I've heard. It's been very interrupted. But I think that may have been just holding him back in rehab groups and stuff, getting himself right for the 2011 season. I don't expect too much early on, and from what I've heard, they're also thinking about putting him in more of a forward outside midfielder role, rather than putting him in the heavy contact of the centre bouncers. So we'll see how Daniel Kerr goes, but everyone's hoping that he'll get back to his form of 4 or 5 years ago, but I just don't see it ever happening for Daniel Kerr. And I have officially put him in the file which I named after him, the Daniel Kerr file. Potential, but always injured, and now probably unable to get back to his very best ever anyway. Let's go to the rookies now. David Swallow, #1 draft pick from last year. Brilliant season in the VFL last year. Couldn't go wrong with David Swallow as your #1 rookie in your midfield. Will play plenty of football in 2011, so he should be a lock in most people's midfields, I think. Harley Bennell, kind of more of an outside midfielder from WA, taken #2, I think, in last year's draft. I think Sam Day was #3. Can get a lot of the footy, but probably in terms of his physical size, probably not quite ready for a full season at AFL, so I'd expect him to be in and out of the team a little bit, just in terms of being rotated rather than his ability, but yeah, probably not one quite ready for the 2011 Dream Team Supercoach season. Andrew Gaff will play a lot of footy for West Coast this year, around half back, I'd imagine, and wing. So reads the footy, gets plenty of it, and disposes of it cleanly. So he's well worth an option for the second or third rookie spot in your team, I think. But I mean, you probably can't have too many high-end rookies in your team. So if you have Swallow and Gaff, you probably need a very cheap one as your third. So, but keep an eye on him. He's an option. Jared Pollock, expecting to play a lot of footy for Brisbane this year. Probably only 15, 16 games. I think he'll be rested. I don't think his physical size is quite ready to a full AFL season as of yet. So, and I don't know exactly how what quantity of football he'll get in 2011 either, just because of that. So just keep that in mind.